on in green orbs as of yet, but we're looking forward to checking out that video on the podcast broadcast stream, which I just started right now. It's live on our social media pages, Rock 102.1's Facebook page, Be Vegan, or on youtube.com/Be Vegan and on Twitch. Herb Stratford's in studio. We have a lot to talk about as far as movies and series that are released this weekend. But first, real quick, let's squeeze in a Florida man story. You want to hear one?
Why not?
Let's do it.
Florida man, catching alligator in the trash can. If you can't do it, no one can. Come on now, Florida man.
What's the expression? You never bring a knife to a gunfight? Yeah, that's it. Oh, Herb, speaking to the microphone, dude. Did you forget how to do radio?
No, well, no. We're talking about green orbs. He's distracted.
Yeah. All right, so what about the saying you could bring a 3-foot sword to a gunfight?
Heard that one too.
Oh, okay. Well, good. A 34-year-old man in Florida named Randy Osterman was stopped by cops recently, and he did not enjoy the fact that he was getting pulled over by police. So he decided to take a stand and whip out a 3-foot sword during this traffic stop, complete with a dragon-shaped handle.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. This nerd was dangerous. Now, Randy wasn't riding a horse or a mystical steed. No, he was in a Nissan Altima. And he wasn't a sword-wielding hero either. He was just blocking a bike lane. So the cops pulled out the tasers. So, there's an update to the expression. You never bring a sword to a taser fight. After a scuffle, they were eventually able to incapacitate Randy and then get a couple of extra shots in just for good measure. But he did actually get some good swings in. Now, fortunately, nobody was hurt. Deputies later found meth, marijuana, and a glass pipe in his sword. And that's
shocking.
Yeah, in Florida. And in fact, if you see a man in public yielding a sword outside of Comic-Con, 100% likely that they have meth on them as well. That's just a fact. So Randy was charged with resisting an officer, possession of a controlled substance, yada, 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 just being a Florida guy. And on top of it off, he provided a false ID. He told the police officers his name was Jon Snow.
No way.
I'm just adding that one, but
For the queen.
yes. For all this, Florida man, Randy, you're definitely a Florida man of the week. Congratulations, bud.
The Florida man.
We're going to look at the mugshot of Randy on the podcast broadcast stream. We'll be back more with film critic Herb Stratford next on Rock 102.1 KFMA. Clear. All right.
Make a bad mullet or no mullet on this guy.
All right. Yeah. Here it is. The over-under. Mullet or no mullet? Herb.
I say mullet.
I say mullet.
Okay. And in fact, actually, this guy's going to look like somebody, like an actor.
Jon Snow.
The correct answer is no mullet.
Wow.
Oh, yes.
But he's got crazy in his eyes.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah.
He's got a little Kaczynski going on there. That guy looks like he has not had human interaction or the touch of a female in a long time.
Long time.
Yeah.
Lee County.
Major Unabomber vibes for sure. Yes, that is too funny. All right. Speaking of funny, I do have a clip I want to show you, Herb. You know, kids do the darndest thing.
Yeah.
Earlier this morning, we did a story about a mom who I'm assuming is a single mom. Okay. And the reason why I assume this is because the size of the apparatus in this story. Yes. Yes. So here's the rundown. A mom was shocked to discover that her 6-year-old found her dildo underneath her bed. Now, it's one of those dildos that have a suction cup that you could just, it's basically a shower banger. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know it well. So
It's like, yeah, I know. Proceed.
I've heard about them.
yeah, you're an adult. You're an adult. So this kid, he pops it up on the wall, and he's a 6-year-old, but he's a 6-year-old badass who wants to be the next Tyson Fury. So he's like boxing with it and sticking and moving and
Ducking
dodging
and waving.
dildos.
Oh.
It's the best. And then I made the quip, and I stand by it, based off the size of this dildo, that she's a single mom.
Is there a photo?
There's a video.
Oh, there's a video
Oh,
of the kid boxing. Okay.
Yeah, the kid boxing, and
So she stopped to take a video of it? I mean,
course
she
she
clearly
did.
wasn't horrified.
Oh no, she had her
This is cheeky.
hand over her mouth. She's basically showing the internet, like, look at what a whore I am. No, that's not nice. That's not nice. That's not nice. And I'm not slut shaming either. I'm just jealous of the size of the dildo
I've
on the wall.
seen your wall dildos.
Right. I mean, if I was like, oh, that's very lifelike, it'd be a different story. But okay, so here, about to get into this. Right now, you skip through.
That's not a
fish.
dildo.
That's just an ad. I don't know. Look at the wings on that dildo.
Yeah, things you
It's
should
a-
not use as a dildo right here.
It's a Gila monster.
All right, here it comes.
What a great ad to have before this too.
Oh yeah.
What are you doing? What are you doing? Where did you find that to?
On your bed.
Look at the stick and move.
Dodge and weave.
That's gonna haunt him forever
Right.
Oh my
in high
God.
school.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Touching dicks, are you, Dale?
touching dick. You touching dicks again, Dale.
The dicks.
Shut
up! Shut up!
Very nice.
No, you didn't miss the green orb yet. I'm waiting on Charles to send me that email. He gave me a call in case you guys don't know. And good morning and yo. So yeah, Charles, if you missed it, Charles gave me a call and asked if anyone in the Redfield area saw a green orb, and he was super kind of paranoid about it. Like, I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah, he sounded
legit.
legitimately spooked. I mean, it was not like, oh, he's kidding. He was like, I don't want to be the only one.
Yeah, I'll play the
Crazy.
audio here. This was a part of the phone call. Yeah. Rockwell 2.1. Who's this?
This is Charlie.
Hey, what's up, dude?
Hey, what's going on? Hey, I got a question for you guys right now.
All right, what you got?
Have you guys got any calls about seeing this green orb last night about 9:14 in Reddington?
No,
Zooming
but-
around Tucson.
no. That's.
Dude, I got a fucking video. I got a video of it, dude.
Did you post it on Facebook? Can you tag me if you did?
I didn't post shit. I'm just calling you.
I love that.
I didn't post
Oh,
shit.
shit.
Mm-mm.
That's
Mm-mm.
why I talked to my lawyer.
That's like getting my money.
Yeah, so too funny. So yeah, I'm waiting for Charlie to send me the email or to tag me. Looking for both. I haven't received anything just yet, but we'll see. And if it does, it's pretty cool. So he said basically the green orb was flying around and flew around the moon and then background. So if I was going to throw out a theory, and I like to do this, I like to speak out my ass, I would assume that it was the Queen's ride back to her home planet after a 96-year run.
It's a good theory.
Yeah.
Yeah, I stand by it. I mean, obviously the internet's been claiming her to be a reptilian for years, right? Have you heard that, Herb?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so if a normie like Herb has heard this, and
Normie.
yeah, and Rico swears by it, so yes,
Rico's got a tattoo of it, actually.
I do.
yes.
I can summon the green orb right now if you want me to.
Yeah, to take me home. Yeah.
Mhm. We have a lot to cover here, and we're gonna play a game. Herb and
no.
Rico are gonna play against
Oh,
each
no.
other because today's National Teddy Bear Day.
What?
Yeah. So I got some teddy bear trivia that I'm going to run by you guys to see who knows their teddy bear trivia better, or just bear trivia in general. So, and then I'm also going to play this tribute. It just got played on KWSS not too long ago. In fact, actually around 8:30 this morning. Rico and I lost, a friend, a mutual friend, just a super sweetheart of a man. His name was Manny. And he owned a bar venue up in Scottsdale for about 12 years called the Rogue Bar. The Rogue Bar was like instrumental in me getting started in radio and getting tapped into the local music community and scene that I was not a part of when I started doing radio. And he was my first advertiser and sponsor that got me the opportunity to do the morning show for the station that I was on at the time. Now that station had 0 listeners and had no signal whatsoever, but Manny was still kind enough and supportive enough to shell out money to us, money that we didn't get, that the station got, just to give us an opportunity to be able to do the show. And then from there, he tapped me into this fantastic music scene. And a lot of the relationships that I still have today were built all from the beginning of the Rogue Bar and Manny's generosity. And then as the show continued to grow and we got a little too big with some of our shows, we couldn't be at the Rogue Bar. We had to go to other venues. Manny could have easily been spiteful and pissed off about this, but he wasn't. He was completely the opposite. He was, couldn't be happier, couldn't be more supportive. and generous and sweet. So it was a loss. He died at 51 years old, which is too young, of cancer. And so I reached out to Danny Cutler, who's on the station that I was on for 7.5 years, and I'm like, Manny was so instrumental in the success of the station that I wanted to record some words and dedicate a song, and that's what I did. So I'm going to play that audio here in a little bit, and I'm going to play the song that I dedicated because the song had a connection to Manny and the Rogue Bar. So, we want you to feel good on a Friday, and then we want you to cry like a little bitch. I tried to throw a little joke in there and try to keep it on par. It's very difficult. It's essentially like a memorial, what you would say, at funerals and everything. And then my mom, God bless her, she's a character. She texts me because I made a post on Facebook, and she's like, I'm so sorry about Manny. How did he die? And I'm like, Mom, you never met Manny. You don't know who the fuck Manny is. You're just morbidly curious just to make sure that's not the way you go. You know what I mean?
Oh, God.
That's usually how people are. So we have that. Plus we have some bad reviews on Blonde. I'm still not concerned about it. Are you concerned now, Herb?
Well, the interesting thing was the thing I sent you was the first one that sort of hit the wire, and it was pretty brutal. But then the one in Variety was really good. So I feel like it's actually turning, and that first review might have been somebody that just had a bone to pick.
Or can't get a boner at all. And
even for Ana de Armas,
yeah. So if you have ED and you're watching Ana de Armas naked as Marilyn Monroe, you're gonna hate the movie.
Yeah,
because you're like, I know I should be so hard right now.
It could be a whole entire movie of Marilyn Monroe just taking a shit. And then Beef would still be like, that was the greatest.
It was so lifeless.
So good.
It's so uncanny, the resemblance. I feel like I'm watching the real Marilyn take a shit.
Right.
There are a
2
lot of
hours.
aspects of it. Obviously her accent is still there a little bit. She's adorable. There is, I've read a few reviews, to be honest with you, and it does go both ways.
Yeah.
But I'm not going in expecting it to be the next Citizen Kane.
No, and that's the thing. It's like, does she do a good job? And is it a story we haven't seen before? And there's that certain morbid curiosity, right? Like when you slow down for a car crash, like you're like, oh, what's going on over there? You sort of want to see if there's a different take. Yeah, we've heard the story, but and really her commitment to this. I think they had contact lenses. I think they did dental stuff for her, so she would look more and more like Marilyn. That's commitment, you know?
Yeah, no, they did. So she has blue eyes, and then the teeth was something that I read in there that they perfectly reconstructed her smile. And it's amazing because, you see some of the shots, the still side by sides, and you can't even tell the difference. That's how uncanny it is.
Is it as impressive as the girl that did Pamela Anderson with the fake boobs?
Yes. It is. It's more impressive, in fact. But that was good to do the pencil thin eyebrows and the prosthetic boobs that did look like Pamela for instances. And I like Sebastian Stan's acting in that. It's not that he looked like Tommy Lee because he's about a foot shorter than Tommy Lee. But the way he talked and acted made me suspend disbelief. It made me think I was watching Tommy Lee, right?
Yeah, totally. I think he was the perfect person I think that casting was just spot on, right? All the way around.
If only Sebastian Stan's Twitter, if he actually put out the same tweet as Tommy Lee, that would have blown up the internet.
I don't think he could. And yeah, man, that's
Marvel's like, no.
Yeah, morality clause, definitely.
Yeah, and when you forget how big Tommy Lee is, and when they show the prosthetic in the show, you're just like, that's not that big. And then 2 months later, you post a picture and it's like, shit, it's actually bigger.
Oh my God, they held back.
They held back for the sake of getting an MA rating.
Cinematographer's like, we need a different lens.
Are you finding out, speaking of which, ratings, because Blonde with Ana de Armas is NC-17 on Netflix, which is unheard of.
Yeah.
But the speculation is you're going to see vagina. Do you know why that it's going to be NC-17? Is it because of the vagina?
I don't know. I haven't heard. And everything that I've read is it doesn't make any sense that it even is NC-17. And it sounds like she's topless for a lot of the film, but they're recreating certain, iconic moments like the Burt Stern nude photo shoot that was one of her last photo shoots where she's got sort of the gauzy stuff, but she's totally nude. And I have a feeling that might be the one place. But I mean, because she's from Cuba, she's very much more comfortable without the puritanical nudity issues. You know what I mean? That we have in this country.
Yeah. Why?
So,
Why is that?
just because anybody that's not American doesn't have a hang up about being topless all the time,
Okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Why do we have such a? Yeah.
prudes, we're puritanical. It's just so anyway, that I think that made it a little easier for her to do that, because no American actress would do that. You know what I mean? They'd be like, nah, I'm good. Bring in the stunt double.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Well, before we get into, we got about
Kathy
3.5
Bates
minutes.
about Schmidt.
Yeah.
Still seared into my memory.
When you come on the show, I like to ask these hard-hitting questions.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. Are you going to see? Private parts. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, okay, that's good. Yeah, but I know I have another hard-hitting question.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Would you bang Martha Stewart? This goes out to both of you.
Yeah.
All right. So without hesitation.
Yeah, why not?
All right.
She's a
And
felon.
this is
That's a turn on.
hypothetical. This is not obviously you wouldn't be cheating on your
cred.
wife. Say you get the pass from your wife, and she's like, "Hey, I want to be a cuckold and watch you hook up with Martha Stewart." Would you do it?
Martha Stewart 20 years ago or Martha Stewart today?
Martha Stewart today.
I don't want to be like an ageism person, but that just doesn't do it for me.
All right. What about this? The reason why I ask this is Martha Stewart. All right. Now, Martha Stewart, she's pitching coffee in nothing but an apron, and it set the internet on fire. And you can never underestimate Martha Stewart. So just when you think that you know her, she reminds you that she was in prison for a while. And she's hardcore.
And that's hot for Rico. So yeah.
Yeah, and she's definitely banged Snoop Dogg. I would bet my mortgage on it that she banged Snoop Dogg. So she was wearing nothing but this apron and enjoying the natural flavor of pumpkin spice from Green Mountain Coffee Roasters, and then nothing else, literally. And you see her, and obviously there's a filter, but there is a video as well.
I don't know. It just feels like desperation to me. It just feels like, hey, look at me. You know what I mean? It's just like all this Britney Spears nonsense right now, where she's posting topless pictures left and right, and look at me. It's just like
she's doing self. Okay, I mean, well, she's obviously maybe stunted in a way, or there's some. Yeah, I'm sure there's some kind of issues, but that doesn't make her less fun, Herb Stratford. And in fact, I'm pretty sure that makes her more fun. And I understand she's probably, what's her age right now? You have to Google that, but
she's got to be late 60s. I'm gonna say
she's 81.
Oh my God, really?
She is nuts.
81.
Yes.
That is nuts.
Right.
Helen Mirren, watch out.
Yeah, right. So you would bang an 81-year-old Rico.
Yeah, just
With
saying.
cooking like that and a felony record? Yeah.
Yeah. No, that would be a good time. I'm not mad at you on that one. I mean, even with the filter, even though I know it's filtered.
If she starts an OnlyFans, though, that's game over. I give up on society.
I will say at 81, she's looking great.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna age shame there. That and I don't know how much work she's had done, but I think
Lots.
it looks, I think
Yes.
she looks great.
Good for you, Martha.
The one thing a prison does is age you. So I'm sure she was aged, even though she was in minimum security. They don't have good skin treatment regimens available when you're in prison, no matter what the prison is. So yeah,
What
she
if your
came out.
enemies?
She got nip tucked. She started smoking blunts with Snoop Dogg.
What of your enemies, Rico?
People are saying that Pete Davidson's going to do it, and I don't think if Pete Davidson does do it, I don't think we'll find out for another 20 years after her passing.
Wait, he's gonna do what?
Banger.
Oh, I haven't heard that.
Yeah. No, that's the internet.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, the interwebs. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, the internet.
Whole internet. Yeah. So okay. We got End of the Road, Pinocchio. This Pinocchio thing. I didn't watch it yesterday because Disney Plus Day. It came out. I watched the new She-Hulk. Finally saw the episode where she bangs.
Yeah, right. I
Yeah.
told
What'd
you.
you think?
Yeah.
I told you.
He's been waiting.
Well, I was underwhelmed. I was hoping there'd be some kind of squeaky
Come on.
noises or
I know,
something.
but it's Disney. You knew there wasn't gonna
I know,
happen.
but you know what? She's She-Hulk. So give me some sound effects and some crashing and smashing, because you would assume at least the light structure getting all messed up. Hold on. Rock 102.1 KFMA. We're back here. I got to play Papa Roach Last Resort, but when we come back, Herb Stratford's going to give us a rundown on what's coming out this weekend, what's worth checking out. We got American Gigolo. It looks like it's a remake on this on Showtime.
Yeah.
All right. The latest Pinocchio. Is it weird? End of the Road on Netflix. And, we talked about She-Hulk. So we're going to keep that conversation moving on the podcast broadcast because I do feel like even though it was on Disney Plus, there's a lot of stuff on Disney Plus that alludes to sex. Now, She-Hulk, she banged in the last episode. Spoiler alert. But there were some things they could have done that wouldn't have been gratuitous or like raunchy. And I feel like they missed the opportunity. So I don't know. We'll debate with that with Herb on the stream and be back right after Papa Roach. Here's a last resort on Rock 102.1 KFMA. All right.
You give me $200 this weekend. I'll go on Craigslist and I'll make that She-Hulk scene happen the way you want it to happen.
Well, you want to bang an
I
Amazon?
didn't say I would do it. I'm just saying I'll make that scene happen for you. Go to Home Depot or Lowe's and get some of that green paint, a couple of Mickeys, and then some hotel room. And
Would you be the She-Hulk?
I'm not going to tell you. I'm just saying if you want a She-Hulk scene that doesn't disappoint,
That
You
might
got a
be worth
budget.
it. That might be worth it.
I do have a lot of.
Craigslist.
I'll tell you what, though. I mean, you fuck around and find out because I've been doing a lot of endorsements this week, thanks FanDuel and the NFL week. So I think I could squirrel away $200 just because I'm curious as to how you would deliver
one of
this.
those man for woman seeking ads on there looking for a She-Hulk recreation scene this weekend. Top dollar, free
They-
Taco Bell.
Now they already have those She-Hulk porns out there.
Oh, then
In
you should
fact-
be happy with that.
Yeah, in fact, I have something on my Instagram page that I posted a while back of She-Hulk naked, like porn star, and I forgot what the conversation was all about, but it was along this, and it was way before Disney announced that they were going to launch a series. Yeah, and it was funny. So yeah, they have it out there. I know they have it. I
Okay.
never really watched it, but I'll definitely watch yours.
Okay. But to find me a nice little Amazonian woman locally here in Tucson.
That's not hard.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I have some friends that are pretty tall and big boned. So
They're allergic to green paint, unfortunately.
Yeah,
We'll
but-
figure it out.
back to She-Hulk, as I was saying, Herb, like again, they could have had lights flickering, like some kind of thing where it's like, hey, she is
What's
really going to
happening?
town on this dude.
Yeah. No, you're
Screaming.
right. You're
Yeah.
right. I mean, they could have, but I mean, really, you have to admit, for them to have a post-coitus scene, right, on a Disney Plus show is a pretty ground. It's almost like the first man kiss. You know what I mean? It's like a big thing for Disney to actually. I'm sure there's angry moms everywhere because they're always mad about all the other Defender of the Marvel stuff that they're mad about Jessica Jones being a drunk and everything else. So
Yeah.
Mm.
so I'm sure there's somebody really mad about it. So I mean, yes, they probably, and if it wasn't on Disney Plus, they probably would have gone further. But I think this is about as far as they could go. So
All right. Well, that's fair.
The backlash is a little annoying too with the twerking thing. It's just like, I get it.
Yeah.
It's just like, you can ask Frank Powers about this too. And he goes about, he's like, yeah, the She-Hulk comics were meant to be sort of like goofy and
Yeah.
self-aware and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm generally on the fence when it comes to, like going the cheesy route for a lot of this Marvel stuff. For that
Right.
one, it's like, give it a pass. There's way too many like triggered guys out there going crazy over it. I'm just like, get
well, and the
over it.
thing is, I mean, she breaks the fourth wall, right? So she's
Mhm.
looking at the camera and talking to you like, "Hey, did you think Wong was going to be back?" I mean, so clearly this is an irreverent show. So of course
Right.
they're gonna overplay the twerking thing, you
Sure.
know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I know. Hey, well, Powers was just upset because he didn't realize who Megan the Stallion was.
I'm upset. I don't know that.
You didn't know who Megan the Stallion was either?
I kind of do.
Of course you
pay attention.
do. You're all locked into pop culture. But hold on, let's get back on there. Rock 102.1 KFMA. Welcome back to Beef Vegan Presents. It's a podcast broadcast. We're here with film critic Herb Stratford and talking about what's coming to not movie theaters, but basically streaming services. Now,
yeah.
the movie theaters taking the weekend off. What's going on here?
Yeah, it's interesting. This is like, this is the doldrums. This is before everything gets busy for award season. So yeah, this is the weekend where there was like pretty much nothing, which is why they, the big re-release. What did they put?
Spider-Man with
Spider-Man
like
back
11
out.
extra minutes.
Yeah, and then Top Gun still kicked Maverick, still beat it. So
You know why though? Because you can't rent a Maverick or own Maverick
for less
like
than
you-
$20. Yeah.
right, like Spider-Man. Spider-Man's been out for a minute. Let me ask you this: is there anything on the horizon that we could be excited about? Just one thing, like over the next couple weeks, because I don't think there is. I haven't seen anything.
No, there is. Well, there's the David Bowie doc, Moonage Daydream, which is coming up, which is really sort of exciting because it's by Brett Morgan, who did the Montage of Heck, which is the doc about Kurt Cobain. So that's going to be really good. Pearl, which is the prequel to that movie X by Ty West. I don't know if you guys remember that movie. X was about the guys making the porno at the abandoned farm.
Oh, yeah,
I
so
remember
it's
hearing
awesome.
about that.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
this is
Yeah.
Pearl, which is basically the backstory of the creepy old lady. Right?
Okay, nice.
All right, so
Okay.
that's sort of interesting. So I mean, you got to give it up for that. And what else? Clerks 3. So I mean, there's a couple things.
Clerks
this week.
3. Yeah, but yeah. All
Yeah.
right. All right. So that's all I can say about that. Well, let's talk about what's released to Netflix right now. It's a movie starring Queen Latifah.
Yeah, it is. So this
You
is
had me at
called
Queen Latifah.
Yeah, and you know what? I looked at my wife when we were watching this, and I was like, you know what? I gotta say, Queen Latifah is one woman who has sort of she's a legitimate movie star. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like she was a rap person, and she made that leap in a way that a lot of people can't. And I mean, and that's not showing any shade, throwing any shade at Ludacris there, who plays her brother in the movie, because he's done all, but it's mostly Fast and Furious, right?
That's
You know what
right.
I mean, so
He's
and I
fantastic.
love him in Fast and Furious, but I'm just saying Queen Latifah has done drama, she's done all this stuff, right? So I got to throw it out to her. So this movie, it's sort of a throwaway movie. It's about this African American family that's moving from LA to Texas. And Queen Latifah's lost her husband. He died, and so she's sort of trying to reconnect with her kids and her brother. And they drive, right? And the problem is they have to go through Arizona. And let me just tell you, Arizona gets a lot of shade thrown at it in this movie.
Really?
Yeah, like we're a bunch of crazy crackers is
We're the
what it
new
really
Texas.
looks like. Yeah, we are. Yeah. They don't even make it to Texas. And so
But
they
Herb
end up-
Stratford, are we not a bunch of crazy crackers?
not all of us.
No.
Not all of us.
2 out of 3 of us in this room aren't.
Mm,
So we won't make you guess which ones he's talking about. So anyway, but Tucson gets a name shout out. That hotel, if you're watching the trailer, the hotel that they stop in, it's in Tucson. It's not in Tucson. They didn't film it here.
Oh, those lying bastards.
But
Ooh.
lots of crazy crackers menacing this family. Unfortunately, it's probably all too true experience for a lot of African Americans in this country, not just in Arizona. But it is sort of a throwaway. I mean, it's like, they're going to get harassed and they know that there's going to be a lot of drama and then she's going to come out on top. But, for a Netflix film, it's fine. It's not awful like the Kevin Hart movie with Snoop Dogg, the one with the vampire one. No, it was
Yeah.
Jamie Foxx.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's not that, but it's also it's not one of Netflix's best films. But check it out. It's sort of entertaining to see him make fun of Arizona.
Okay.
And Tucson. No.
All right. Well, that's one that's going to Netflix. The other big movie, actually, this is a big movie, but it does seem like they didn't really talk much about it leading up to the release of Pinocchio on Disney Plus for Disney Plus Day. This is the live action animated version. So meaning that this is so odd. All right. It really is for many different reasons. Okay. One, the Pinocchio is like the cartoon Pinocchio.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So disconcerting. What is going on? Why is the cartoon one in the middle of this live action one?
Yeah.
We're talking 2D animation.
And Jiminy
Live
Cricket
style?
and the whole nine. No, you're going to see here in just a second. I'm pulling it up. So did you watch this yet?
I did.
And what'd you think of it?
I wish I had those 2 hours back.
Really? It was that bad, huh?
Oh,
It
God.
was painful. It was painfully awful. And
Oh, wow.
Tom Hanks, I don't know what is going on, but first he's Colonel Tom Parker. That was weird casting. And now he's being Geppetto. And the voice of Jiminy Cricket is Joseph Gordon-Levitt. But it's just, I wanted it to be something. And I get it. I get you need to want to reintroduce this. And let's be honest, this was 1940 was the original Pinocchio. That's
Yes.
a long time ago. It's pre-World War II. Okay. So, maybe with new technology, sure, we can tell this story again, but it's weird because yes, you've got the cartoon Pinocchio. Why didn't you do something like the other people did and make the Pinocchio a little bit different? Right. You
Right.
know what I mean? And then also the way they update this stuff, like the whale, I'm thinking, all right, I'm going to stick around. I'm here for the whale. I want to see how they handle the whale digitally. That's an opportunity to do some cool stuff. No, they take the whale and they make it into a whale shark with tentacles. What? What are you doing?
What producer was on coke?
I don't know.
All of them. It's Hollywood.
It's so it's really, and then the cat, what's the cat's name? Figaro. The cat is digital. So when Tom Hanks picks it up, he's like fake petting this digital cat, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, that's weird. The one thing I will say is the cuckoo clock wall in Geppetto's workshop is full of little Easter eggs, and I like that, but that's
Okay.
about it. And so it's 31% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's sort of getting beat up.
Do you think his son Chet is picking all his movies for him right now?
I don't know.
Like he's
Maybe.
like, yo, Dad, you were such a bad dad to me.
Do this.
So yeah, you owe me. Let me pick your films, yo.
No, please don't watch this. Don't.
I feel like kids need to go back and watch the OGs because those were terrifying as a kid.
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
I'm just like, they need that.
Super
Bambi,
spooky.
Bambi. I mean, anything you do now with Bambi would not be as scary as Bambi, the original.
No, I know,
You know what I
exactly.
mean?
Like, that
So,
was
yeah.
hard hitting.
All right, so those two movies to kind of avoid on your streaming networks this weekend. We're going to have more with Herb Stratford and continue the conversation on the podcast broadcast stream, youtube.com/bevegan. Be back with more right after this. Clear. All right, so much to cover. So let me get into this real quick. Yeah, that did look terrible. Now, so I was like, I don't even want to watch 1 minute of
I think
this.
Tom Hanks lost a bet. He had to. There's a lot of weird movies going on.
It is either that or he's just like, I got to pay for
whatever.
Chet's rehab. I don't know.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to do something different here. I want to play this clip here for my friend Manny. This is the tribute that we played on KWSS. And I'm going to do some slideshows so you kind of get to know Manny here on the podcast broadcast stream. And then we'll go right into the music video that I dedicated the song to so you get a better understanding as well. So Manny's right here. If you can see him, he's the man with the backwards hat. I'm going to go through some of the slideshow and check this out. This is what I said earlier this morning on KWSS 93.9. Check it out. Yo, what's going on? It's Beef Vegan. You may not know who I am, but I used to host mornings on KWSS for 7.5 years, and I'm taking a small moment of time out of Danny Cutler's show to remember our good friend Manny Tripodis. Manny used to own a venue in town called the Rogue Bar, and unfortunately, Manny passed away earlier this week, and it was a huge loss for myself personally and many within the local music community. Manny's love and support from day one helped shape the sound of this station that we're listening to today. In fact, I don't even know if local music would be played as prevalent as it is played on KWSS if it wasn't for the influence and support from Manny. He was an early sponsor of myself and the morning show TMI and introduced me to great talent, bands I didn't even know existed in this town, and showed me that there's so many great artists within our community that we can go outside the national charts and start focusing in our own backyard. Bands that we grew to love like Mergence, Banana Gun, The Hourglass Cats, Ruka, Decker, Jaffe's Descent, and so many more were introduced to me on the stage at the Rogue Bar for the very first time. And through those introductions, I was able to take a song from Mergence, play it for our station owner, Frank Magarelli, and show him that there's radio quality music being made and that we didn't need to be a station that played them once a week on a Sunday night, but we could play them every single hour. And Frank, to his credit, agreed. And that's what we started doing. Not only that, when KWSS needed a place to call home for one of our radio boosters, the Rogue Bar voluntarily let Frank put a tower there so we could reach a small part of Scottsdale. It's a sad coincidence that this week KWSS also launched the 99.5 signal in Mesa, where a lot of people on the east side can finally hear this great station. That it was also the week that Manny passed away, because without him, many people wouldn't have heard KWSS out in the Scottsdale area for the very first time. And it wasn't just local bands either. One of our signature bands that we played on the station for over a decade is Mother Mother. And Mother Mother was solely introduced to us by Manny and Lily at the Rogue Bar. Our first several Mother Mother shows were held at the Rogue Bar until we were able to build them up so big that we had to unfortunately move outside of the Rogue Bar and start doing shows at Crescent Ballroom. And in fact, the biggest show the station ever did was Mother Mother selling out the press room on a Wednesday night. There was over 1,000 people there and it was completely sold out. And I remember Manny walking up to the door attempting to buy a ticket. And I saw him and I went up to Manny and I said, "F you, you're not allowed in." No, I'm just kidding. Obviously his money was no good. And I said, "You don't have to buy a ticket, my friend. Come on in." When he came into the venue that night, he insisted on buying me a drink, and we stood there enjoying both the success of the band and the station, success that neither of us would be enjoying if it wasn't for the love and support of Manny. The beautiful and sad thing about this story is that my experiences with Manny were not unique. In fact, there's hundreds of musicians and people throughout our community that could say the same thing. He truly had a heart of gold. He wanted the best for everybody, and he would offer you the shirt off his own back. So it's a tremendous loss to the people that know him and to the music community as a whole. So what I'd like to do now, in memory of our friend Manny, is dedicate a song to him. It was the first song that I heard on the Rogue Bar stage, And it's been a band that we've been playing on KWSS ever since we debuted them. This is Banana Gun with Light On. We'll miss you, Manny, but you won't be forgotten. Rock local.
All right, we're Banana Gun. This next song is called Light On.
One, two, three, four. I've been going home, but I'm on my way home. So leave a light home for me, honey. Yeah, leave a light home for me, honey. Well, I've been long gone, but I'm on my way home. So leave a light home for me, honey. Yeah, leave a light home for me, honey. Been go long, but I'm on my way home. So leave a light home for me, honey. Leave a light on for me, honey. Yeah, I could be wrong, but you could be someone who would live when it wasn't funny. Yeah, who would live when it, but you take away everything. Leave me with nothing at all. Leave a light on for me, honey. Leave a light on. Yeah, it's a shame to waste this face. Leave me with no one to call. Leave a light on for me, honey. Leave a light on for me, honey. I've been going long, but I'm on my way home. So leave a light home for me, honey. Leave a light on for me, honey. And I know writing songs to help the lonesome. No, I do it all just for the money. I do it all just, but you take away everything. Leave me with nothing at all. Leave a light on for me, honey. Leave a light on. It's a shame to waste this space. Leave me with no one to call. Leave a light on for me, honey. Leave a light on for me, honey. Yeah, I'll be home before the sunlight hit your face. You ain't found no home that can take my place. Goodbye now, but I'm leaving, even though you're the one I hold. Goodbye now, I'm leaving, even though you're the one I want. Good morning, and good evening, and I can tell you what time it's go. Leave a light on, leave a light on, leave a light on for me, honey. So leave a light on, leave a light on, leave a light on for me, honey. Leave a light on, leave a light on, leave a light on for me, honey. Leave a light on, leave a light on. Leave a light on for me, honey. Leave a light on, leave a light on, leave a light on for me, honey. Leave a light on, leave a light on, leave a light on for me, honey. Leave a light on, leave a light on, leave a light on for me, honey.
That was a little Banana Gun right there. That was a live version of that song. And I was going out to Manny. So that was on airwaves on 939. So, I was all over Arizona this morning.
That was beautiful.
Yeah, thank you.
Very nice. And a great song, too. So very appropriate.
Yeah, that's the first song I remember from the Rogue Bar. It stood out. And, obviously we get super drunk there, too. He poured very stiff drinks. And
Craig.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was a fantastic watering hole. And I do still feel bad because I accidentally broke his toilet one night hooking up with a girl. Yeah. Yeah. And I just told that story recently. Remember, if you recall, Rico.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And it was summer. And she was a friend of mine. And we decided to get a little freaky because we got a little too drunk in the women's restroom. And I tried to recreate a movie scene. I guess, lift her up, put her onto the toilet. But, she was a heavy bottom girl. And I apparently moved to the toilet to where the bottom of it just completely kind of ripped off. So it flooded from underneath. And next thing you know, Oh, felt like such a dick.
Oh,
Felt like such a dick.
Oh,
But
yeah.
even with that, he didn't hate me. And that's how like
like,
pure-hearted he
bro.
was.
that's a friend, man.
That's a testament
Yep.
right there to the
Yep.
character he was and the friendship we had. Yeah, so he is definitely missed and will be by many people. All right, we got to get back on the air here in just a moment, but of course, as teased earlier and promised earlier, let's see where we're at here. There it is. I want to play a game. Herb versus Rico. Did you know today is National Teddy Bear Day?
No.
I was
What?
not aware.
I know. I'm surprised you don't have it on your calendar.
You know how much I go to Build-A-Bear? I should know this.
I know. So
Oh,
Friday,
man.
September 9th is National Teddy Bear Day. So I have trivia questions based off this. I'm going to give you a hint or, basically state a fact, and you have to shout out the answer. Okay, so it's not going to be one at a time. It's whoever gets the correct answer first gets the point. Whoever has the most points wins the game. Are you guys ready?
Sure.
Yes.
All right, here we go. Goldilocks ate their porridge.
The Bears?
The Bears.
The Bears.
Incorrect.
I don't understand.
The 3 Bears? What?
Yeah, the 3 bears. There you go. That's 1 point for Rico.
What?
You remember that?
Yeah.
Mom bear, Papa bear, Big
Oh,
bear,
all right, I understand.
The
just
Bears.
right.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah, okay, here we
The
go.
Bears.
Here's another one. Think Jeopardy, I guess. Here, this will help you. You can say what is,
Yeah,
okay?
All right.
Series of children's books about a bear family
What
written
is
by
the Bear
Bears.
What's the Bears See Bears? That is correct, Rico. You know your teddy bears. Here we go. Next one. He's the bear from the Jungle Book.
What is Baloo?
That is correct. One for Herb. Yes. All right. The Hanna-Barbera bear lives in Jellystone
Yogi.
Park.
What is Yogi?
Yeah, that is correct. Yogi Bear. Hey there, Babu. Let's see. The Muppet Bear is
What is
bad
Fozzie?
at telling jokes. That is correct. Yeah, I know.
You're killing me, Rico.
This bear says only you can prevent forest fires.
Smokey the Bear.
That is correct. Herb. Yes. All right. This bear sounds like Peter Griffin from Family Guy because he's also voiced by Seth MacFarlane.
What was Ted?
That is correct.
Oh.
3 points. All right, we actually got 5 seconds before we get on the air, so we might as well just finish this out here. Rock 1 2.1 KFMA, welcome back to Beef Vegan Presents. You know, today is National Teddy Bear Day, and if you didn't know, I'm telling you right now.
Now you do know.
Yeah, and so we're doing bear trivia here on the podcast broadcast stream, and right now Rico has 4 points and Herb has 3. It's Jeopardy style answers, and then they're gonna just shout out the answer, and if they get the answer right, they're gonna get a point. And we're gonna see. I got a few more left, so it's still anybody's ball game. But again, the score is Rico 4, Herb 3. Here's our next clue. This bear's best friend was Christopher Robinson.
Who's
What is
Winnie the
Winnie
Pooh?
Ooh, who said that one first?
I was also formal with it.
You did say who is. All right. Don't get the point for Rico. All right. 2 more left here. This butt-kicking animated panda's real name is Master Ping Chow Po.
Who's Kung Fu Panda?
That is correct. All right. This last question or fact is worth 2 points. So it's anyone's ball game. Whoever gets this last one right is going to win the entire game. Are you guys ready?
Yes.
These bears have little logos on their chest that give them superpowers.
What's Care Bears?
Oh! All right, the winner of the bear game is Rico. You know your bears.
I was waiting for a Roosevelt question. I was so excited.
I know, me
I
too.
was like, come on.
I know. No, I didn't.
Tricky.
I know. So there we go. That was just in honor of National Teddy Bear Day because we can't let that pass without honoring it.
I lived in West Hollywood for a long time. There's a lot of bears around there.
That's how you
familiar.
got. No wonder you were able to pay your rent on a part-time job. All right, let's talk about something that's more on brand. American Gigolo is getting, American Gigolo, not the ICP version. Gigolo is getting a reboot. Is that correct?
Yeah,
And it stars the dude from Punisher.
Yeah, it does. But just before we go there, I mean, I would have preferred to see an American Juggalo. That actually sounds like a good mashup.
Yeah, that
I
would be
think somebody needs
fantastic.
to do that.
Documentary.
So for people who may not remember, there was a 1980 movie starring Richard Gere called American Gigolo, and it was a big deal because this is when there was a rash of sort of adult sort of themed movies like Looking for Mr. Goodbar with Diane Keaton, where she's out trolling bars trying to hook up,
Right.
and the Al Pacino movie Cruisin', where he's like at the gay bars, and so all this sort of edgy, sort of sexual stuff that was going on right in the big mainstream cinema.
Right.
And Richard Gere, he was the big deal, right? He was like considered like the sexiest man alive, all that good stuff. So anyway, that was a movie. For some reason, Showtime has decided that they can make a series out of this. And I think the casting's a little weird. I love John Bernthal, right? I think he's awesome in everything he does. But to me, he's a little bit edgier. He's not like Richard Gere. You know what I mean? He's not like this pretty boy.
Yeah, he's too serial killer-ish.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you don't doubt that he could bang the ladies he's talking to. You're just afraid for them.
I want to go back to the hotel room.
Yeah. Okay.
No, it's a little extreme. And also the fact that it's like a 10 episode series or something. I'm like, wow, you're going to stretch this out that far. So basically it's sort of inspired by, it's not exactly the same thing. But you've also got Rosie O'Donnell, right?
Really? She's in it?
She's like a cop, right? That's sort of chasing him down.
I would have been all in if you told me she dated the American Gigolo. I'm like, I want to see that.
The first scene is them naked, yeah.
And then you got Gretchen Mol, who I think Gretchen Mol is beautiful and she does some interesting stuff. And so she's sort of one of his past clients and he's sort of trying to get back with her. And Wayne Brady is in this as well. 20% on Rotten Tomatoes. So there's not a lot of love out there right now for this. Showtime, in my mind, is struggling with their scripted series. I don't see a lot of great stuff happening on Showtime. This is another miss for them.
And well, Yellow Jackets is the only thing that they've been able to do.
Exactly.
And I bet you season 2 will probably flop too. That seems like a series that was only really written for one season. So we'll find out. I mean, I hope so, because when Showtime nails it, they hit it out of the park. I think Dexter and there's been many series.
But it's been a little while, right? With the exception of Yellow Jackets, you're right. It's been a little while.
I need a fantasy series.
Yeah.
Is there any leftover Lord of the Ring IP? All right. We're going to keep the conversation moving on the podcast broadcast on youtube.com/BeVegan. More Be Vegan Presents coming up after these words. Stick around. It's Rock 102.1 KFMA. Clear. All right. I got to just play this endorsement real quick. Let's squeeze that in. But yeah, so that's just a major bust. Everything they're doing just sucks, right?
Yeah.
Oh, it's not worth the start of the NFL season is here. Sorry. The $3 extra that you would have to pay if you have an Amazon account to get Showtime. Okay.
Sorry. Did I miss something? Sorry.
Nah.
I just forget about certain networks. There's way too many now.
There are, and it's hard to keep it
God.
straight. Like every once in a while, I'll be like, oh, I haven't looked at that in a while, right? Because you get sort of down, you get on a rabbit hole. And I mean, Apple didn't have a lot of content for a while, and now they're sort of picking up their content, Apple Plus or Apple TV Plus, whatever it is.
Are you liking what they put out? Obviously they got the Ted Lasso. What else?
Severance was absolutely brilliant.
Okay.
So I mean, that's the thing that sort of stuck me for a while, but. It's interesting. I'm waiting to see what they're going to do this fall because they seem to usually drop one big movie on Apple TV, like they did with Coda, right? And so I'm waiting to see what they drop next. And then that's where I think the Scorsese thing is going to be on Apple TV. I think.
Wow, what's Scorsese thing? What's he putting out?
Killers of the Flower Moon, which is about the sort of the founding of the FBI and a case that happened up in the sort of Northwest. Murder case.
Is there any mafia involvement whatsoever? Because this guy has a hard on for the mafia, man.
Oh yeah, the Rolling Stones.
No,
and
not
Rolling
really.
Stones.
Yeah, right.
Does this guy ever listen to Beyond Symphony of the Devil or Symphony? I can't say it right now, but yeah, I mean, it is in every single one of his songs. It's just like, dude, you got stuck on something. Is that the only thing that you listen to? I don't know.
It's like Mick Jagger caught him doing a murder or something. He's like, I'll put every single song,
yeah,
every single movie for the rest of my life.
It is true, but I mean, everything does look cooler when you have that in the background. I mean, that song is like the ultimate movie score song. But there are other songs that probably work too, and there's a lot of bands out there that are so pissed at Scorsese because they're like, "What about me?
Yeah,
I want some of that Goodfellas money."
Yeah,
yeah. All right, we watched the trailer for The Challenge, and it's a documentary of the stuff that they didn't show on TV. But have you been investigating? Have you been researching to see how much you're actually going to talk about, or is it going to be some kind of fluff piece? Because it is on MTV.
Yeah, I don't. It's interesting. There's been very little that I can find that goes deep, and I think it is going to be a little fluffy because they're sort of proud of themselves, right? You know what I mean? Like they had this thing that they stuck with it for a long time, and now. With CBS picking it up, right, as a global competition, it's like a little bit of a pat on the back, a little bit of a victory lap.
It is. It does come off like that in the 30-second trailer that we watched.
Yeah,
it was kind of smug,
Yeah.
And like, oh, nobody thought we'd be around still, but now we're like, we call ourselves a sport. Like, nah, fuck yourself. We want you to get drunk, bang, and then beat each other up. This is just Jerry Springer.
Yeah, that's why we watch it.
Yeah, Jerry Springer with stunts, you know, and that's like,
yeah, that's true. That's actually exactly what it is. And I mean, for me, and I know because you're a fan too, like when the cast gets announced, I'm like, oh, I wanted that person. You know what I mean? Like, I'm always like, okay, well, that's cool. I like, okay, I want to see that drama, but oh, really? We don't have a Wes to make fun of and to root against. And I mean, I like Bananas. I know people like to hate on Bananas, but
I like Wes.
Man,
I like his shit talking. He went to ASU, but yeah, I like his shit talking.
So I mean, so I'm actually curious to see what kind of stuff they show us, because long-term fans like you and I, we've seen it all. We've seen Johnny Backpack. We've seen all that stuff. We've seen TT go off and just about kill somebody.
Yeah.
So what haven't we seen? Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I'm a sucker. I'll be sitting there watching the whole thing.
Well, we still watch people hook up. That's why, there's billions of porns. So, you could do that. There's no hooking up in the challenge on CBS. And it is kind of like the watered down, safer version. Do you have any breakaway characters from this season on CBS's version of the challenge that you really enjoy?
It's weird because it's a lot of those folks they're all from shows I don't watch.
Right.
So I don't watch Love Island. I don't watch Survivor. So for me, it's like and Big Brother I don't watch. So it's like they're all new to me. So I'm interested in sort of that dynamic. And what's the one guy that sort of wins everything?
Tyson.
I
think he's from Arizona as well.
Yeah, I think he is. And I'm sort of intrigued by him just because he seems to be a pretty smart player. You know what I mean? And just the way he does stuff. And he sort of rises above sort of the BS of some of the other people that are just sort of really struggling in this environment. So clearly he's the smartest guy there. He knows what he's doing, and he's managed to play the game really well. So it's getting down to brass tacks now, though. You know what I mean? They're running out of stuff. But I will say again to you, you're absolutely right. The challenges, right? They up their game. There's some really good stuff going on. I'm like, wow, the challenge kids should be worried, because if they bring this back to the original show, some of these kids are going to be in trouble.
That's true. Yeah, it's going to be tough, and they're all getting older. But with the CBS challenge, they use a lot of old contestants as well.
Yeah,
so
true.
They're going to have to go the opposite way and bring in young, dumb, and horny to really continue to inject some more life into the franchise, I think. But I like Angela and Tyson from this series. Angela's reminds me of Laurel. She's hot. And she's badass.
Yeah.
So bring that on. But again, give them an open bar tab and let them hook up and, cheat on their spouses and stuff. I need that drama, So I need it. I mean, that's just how it is. If I was an executive producer on that show, I would just be like, I would say this episode's sponsored by Belvedere and Kettle One and Jägermeister and tequila.
Lean into it.
Yeah, and just load them up.
And condoms.
And condoms. You don't even need that. So for really good to see you again from Sweden again.
Nice.
Yeah, what time is it in Sweden right now?
Sweden, Oregon.
We are live. It's 9:42 here in Arizona, beautiful southern Arizona, that we're broadcasting this.
How did you find us?
On Twitch.
On Twitch.
Yeah, slowly but surely the Twitch is starting to roll.
6:40 p.m.
Wow. Nice.
Sweden.
Yeah, well, tell us what happened in the future.
Yeah, for real. Queen get back alive? What happened?
Reanimated zombie queen.
Yes. Yeah. No, Prince Charles made his first speech as king, and he stepped down and passed the mantle to Prince Harry. Oh, didn't see that one coming. You thought it was going to be William. But they're like, nah, we'll give it to Harry, the one who renounced the throne a while back.
It's going to be Diplo doing his introduction and everything.
It would be Diplo. It would be some kind of DJ. Pumping up. Times they have changed for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of documentaries, let's talk about this Obi-Wan then, because we were just on the documentary tip. And so this is on Disney Plus as well. Was this part of the Disney Plus day?
Yeah, it dropped because of that. And well, actually, no, it drops today. So no, it didn't drop. I mean, it's the weekend. But so Disney does this now, where whatever IP they do, whatever show they do, whatever, they always have created a behind the scenes series, a companion piece that they can show later. So they did this with The Mandalorian. They did it with any of their shows. They did it with everything. So this is sort of hotly awaited because, you know, we don't know if there's going to be any more Obi-Wan. You know, the rumors are it might happen. There might be a second season. But so, you know, if you dug the series, this is great because it's behind the scenes, talks to Hayden Christensen, talks to Ewan McGregor, shows them filming in the volume. You know, it's all the behind the scenes stuff because it was sort of a big deal to have this character come back, right? Originally it was going to be a movie, and then the Han Solo movie tanked, so they rejiggered it, turned it into a series. So I'm, you know, there's a geek in me that I'm really excited to see this because I want to see how they did a lot of this stuff and just see some of the stories behind the scenes. So yeah, it's called Obi-Wan Kenobi: A Jedi's Return, and it is on Disney Plus.
All right. Well, that's good to know. And if you watch the series, then you might want to watch this. I haven't watched the series, to be honest with you.
Oh, really? All right. Well,
yeah,
it was good.
I don't know. You know, I think maybe it was too much Star Wars content and it kind of pushed me away at the time being. I don't know. Well,
Star Wars fatigue.
And that's possible. I mean, it happens. Guardians of the Galaxy was my new Star Wars. I know, and that might be sacrilegious.
No, a lot of people say that. A lot of it's different generation because I'm an old dude. So Star Wars was my galaxy.
Yeah,
Guardians. So,
Peacemaker's your new Star Wars.
Oh, Peacemaker! I can't wait for the next season of Peacemaker.
That's what I'm saying. I asked Rico the question earlier, and I think I have it right here for the audio.
Of John Cena and Whitey Tighties again? Stop pulling it up.
It's making me uncomfortable.
It's like, just look at that body, guys.
Yeah, no,
look at it. It's perfect.
It is. All right, but here's hey, Rico. What's a show's theme song that you would never skip?
There's a lot of them, but I don't know. Maybe Narcos.
Narcos is a good theme song. I do love that.
No Country for Old, or what is it? Sorry.
Sopranos.
Oh,
that's,
yeah.
That's a good one too.
Sopranos.
Sopranos is great.
Watching
True Detective season 1.
Okay. Well, I mean, yeah, it sounds like you could put together a playlist.
I'm going to say Westworld too. I dig the Westworld.
The Westworld theme is, pretty intoxicating.
And Game of Thrones. Let's be honest. Game of Thrones had a great. I had to put it onto the House of the Dragon because it was so good, right?
Yeah, it's iconic. The Office is iconic as well, but could be annoying.
Yeah.
I did say Peacemaker is mine. Because it was just a catchy song, and for whatever reason, you know, and the dance, he was mentioning off air, The Simpsons, because they always have that visual gag at the end. But, you know, and he's like, it's like Peacemaker. I'm like, no, actually, Peacemaker doesn't do anything different. They do that silly dance every single episode. And I would love to see the stats of people who watch that show, who watch the entire dance and listen to the entire song for every episode.
I watched it every time, single time. It just made me laugh, and it didn't matter that I'd seen it. Even if I was watching episodes back to back, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna watch it.
Right. You just watch all over again. It's a good reset. And
charming.
You hope you learn.
Yeah. Also, on the streamer, Peaky Blinders is absolutely a fabulous intro.
Nick Cave.
Yeah, that Nick Cave song is awesome.
Yeah, and JJ said my ex really dug the True Blood theme. Yeah, well, I guess that was
Showtime needs a vampire show. That'll help them.
Yeah, vampires or dragons, one of the two.
Vampire dragons.
Yeah, right.
That have sex underwater.
Shut up and take my money. Yes, I mean, write that down, Rico.
You know what? Don't tempt Gary because he will call in with another dragon sex noise. Remember that?
Oh yeah, that was good. That was good. I should have recorded that. That should be a sound drop. Gary actually called in today and won the last word for those tickets for Alice in Chains. And I just got a text saying the Youngblood concert that I was going to give away tickets for is postponed. So that's a bummer, but Youngblood. Like, that's rock? Yeah, I guess it is. Sounds like a rapper name, and he is a rapper that turned rock. This is what happens when you're here, and this is just a heads up for you, Herb, in a future life. If you start off as a white rapper and then you realize the industry is not taking you seriously, you're not really moving units, but you get a little bit of buzz. That's a good time to transition to rock and be like, hey, look at me. I'm also a rock star. You look the part, and you get a lot of people who are too young to know what good music is, and they'll buy tickets to your shit. And that's what Youngblood did. So congratulations, Youngblood. He's a hot commodity. He postponed the show. I do have a concert announcement that I am making on Monday morning and giving out concerts or giving out tickets to the Rialto, which is a crunchy good time. That's the only hint I'm going to give you.
Crunchy.
Yeah. People keep asking me about KFMA Day too. And I do feel like KFMA Day is almost 100% go. So they haven't told me much, but they're feeling pretty confident about it. And that means I should be announcing KFMA Day if everything gets confirmed around November. and doing pre-sales, and that would be good. That'd be a good payoff. So
Nice.
I like
Alright.
the tease. You're like almost guaranteed.
yeah,
Almost.
I know. I'm just still waiting. Pisses me off.
Mhm.
All right, let's get back on the air here real quick. Rock 102.1 KFMA. Welcome back to Beef Vegan Presents, hanging out with film critic Herb Stratford. Now, I know it was a while ago and that you had your son. Your son grew up to be a good-looking dude, tall, good-looking dude, right?
Yeah.
Do you recall what the nurse said to you after your son was born, though? Like, to say, besides it's a boy, did the nurse throw out any compliments your way they normally do?
Well, no, because we had a difficult childbirth situation.
Okay.
Our son was actually 9 weeks premature, so we were not expecting to go to the hospital at any time.
Yeah.
So it was sort of a little bit of a shock. So no, we had a little bit of a rough start, but he turned out awesome. No problems, nothing. Nothing.
Yeah, now he's a giant of a man. Well, the reason why I asked is because there's a nurse who's going viral on TikTok because she revealed that there is nurse code
Oh,
when they compliment parents who have an ugly baby.
Oh God.
Yeah,
really?
there's a certain statement they say when your baby's ugly. Now, if your baby's cute or adorable, they straight up say it. Oh my God, your baby's beautiful. Congratulations on this beautiful baby boy or this beautiful baby girl. But if they don't say beautiful when passing off your baby and they say this, that means your baby's ugly. All right. And this is what it is. Here, I'm going to pull it up on the podcast broadcast stream so you can see it as well. This was heartbreaking because then I recalled that my nurse told me
Go
just
find her.
this. Uh-huh. Oh, yeah.
Hey.
Here, listen to this.
My preceptor on labor and delivery in nursing school actually taught me this. If the baby's cute, you can just tell them the baby's cute. But if the baby's ugly, then you just tell them it looks just like them.
You hear that?
Wow.
He looks just like you. Well, so when the nurse says the baby looks just like you, that's a double burn. They're saying your baby's ugly,
and so are you.
and so are you.
Cat's out of the bag.
Oh, if a hot nurse does this, she's done for. I'm like, F you, nurse.
Wow.
Yeah, and my baby, my daughter's beautiful, but she was an ugly baby. It was not good, and it was unfortunate because she did look just like me. And that's
With a
what the
beard
nurse
and
said.
everything.
Backwards hat.
Yeah, backwards hat.
Look at that.
That's how I knew it was mine. I was like, oh, I see how she rocks her hat. That's my baby. All right, we're going to take a quick break. Be back with your beef tip right after this. It's Rock 102.1 KFMA. Finding out these little things actually infuriates me. I'm just like, oh, because if the nurse wasn't hot, I wouldn't be so mad. But I'm just like, oh, damn you, hot person.
Damn you.
Throwing shade at me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fucking hot people. They don't get it.
They don't.
They don't.
That is good though. I mean, that's really good to know. Like, I love when you get that behind the scenes code stuff. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
now I know, right? Like when you're in the hospital and you hear code blue means one thing and code red means, I think code red means send security. I mean, it's like
Mhm.
there's this whole stuff that we don't know, and I sort of like
the
knowing.
Secret menu at Chipotle.
Yeah, exactly.
And speaking of good-looking people versus ugly people, there's another headline here that you might have seen earlier this week. Woman arrested at Las Vegas airport says she was detained for being so good-looking.
Probably.
So yeah, let's just hate this chick real quick. Now, unfortunately, we don't have a picture, but I'll give you a rundown on the story of what happened with this woman. This happened at the Harry Reid International Airport. Her name is Hend, Hend, Bastami, and she had a run-in with airport police. According to the cops, she was accused of doing the old dine and dash at an in-house Chili's location. Now, first off, you can't be too hot and eat at Chili's as well. Like, I've never seen a really hot person eat at Chili's. With all due respect to Chili's, you're delicious, and I eat there all the time. Point taken, right?
Yeah.
Well, you max out at 6.5s.
Yeah,
Then
yeah.
it's in there. Like, come on, let's
100%.
be real.
Like, and if you were to like match with a girl who's like a perfect 10, the last place you're taking her is Chili's. But if you feel like you're getting catfish, you're going Chili's happy hour all day long.
Oh yeah.
So, anyways, according to Hen, the cops were arresting her because she was so good looking and just wanted to get her in handcuffs. And reportedly, she accused the police of being perverts trying to rape her because she's so damn attractive.
Wow.
That sexiness, of course, was boosted by her threats to spit on all the officers involved, which I'm sure they'll enjoy because she's so good looking. Later, cops learned that she had an outstanding warrant, probably for being so outstandingly good looking. but they treated her accordingly, like an ugly person. So good for the Las Vegas police. And that's the thing about Las Vegas. Yeah, maybe in Missouri, you get away with this good-looking bullshit. They may let you go. Las Vegas, they see dimes go through the airport on fucking every 15 minutes.
Yeah, it's a higher standard for sure.
Absolutely. All the most beautiful women in the world touch down at that airport. So as good-looking as you are, you might be, again, a Missouri 10, but that makes you a Vegas 2. So go fuck yourself.
Please
kinda.
pay for your Dollarita and get in the car.
Yeah. Dine and dash. Dine dash. I just thought the ugly guy next to me was going to buy it. Of course you would.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So that happened. I got some more headlines. You want to hear some headlines?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, some stuff that we didn't get to today.
The green orb.
The green orb.
Yeah, what? We never
what
got that
happens?
video.
Charlie slacked on it. Maybe he's afraid I'm with the FBI.
Probably.
Yeah, which is possible. I understand that. You know, very FBI-ish. My uncle was in the CIA, so my great uncle, I should say. All right. There was a headline of I introduced my girlfriend to my ex and now they're getting married. So, and people were dumped for someone that they knew in various stories that went viral. But here's headlines that we didn't get to today. People are more confused with forgetting their password than having someone else guess what it is. I'm sorry, they're more concerned with forgetting their password than having someone else guess what it is. So people are more likely to do their password as password 12345 just so they don't forget it than getting an unhackable password. That's how lazy we are. We're like, fuck it. Take all my banking information. That's fine. Just as long as I don't have to re-put in a new password. That's where they're at there. Other headlines. A pilot landed in a private plane on Saturday after threatening to crash it in Walmart in Mississippi. Now, it sounds like it could have been a suicide mission, but he landed it safely in the field and was taken into custody. And nobody in Walmart was concerned. You know? A woman claimed her 21-year-old son ordered shorts from ASOS, and when they arrived, they were in plastic, but they smelled like shit, and they had a brown stain in the shorts. Yeah. In fact, I actually have a picture of this. The rep for the company apologized and said shit happens. Here's the picture. That's legit.
Oh, my God.
I really needed to see that.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a very burnt orange hue.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
They got to don't worry. You got to refund.
They're pre-distressed.
Mm-hmm. And there was another really cool science story that I wanted to share with you real quick. Let's see how much time we have. We're on here in 8 seconds. All right, welcome back to the show. We're almost out of time. Excuse me. All right, so earlier this morning, we had Charlie call in and said he saw like a green orb flying around, and we were talking about space travel and whatnot, and Herb made a reference as to, you know, the UFO picking up the queen, taking her to another planet. Wouldn't that be great if they could just take us out of this planet and take us to another one? I got some bad news, though. The closest planet that we found that could be possibly sustain life is about 100 light years away. So that's about 590 trillion miles. But even if we could get there, a new study found that even short amounts of time in space are devastating to our bodies, right? So every blood sample from astronauts showed genetic mutations from radiation. Isn't that nuts?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it doesn't matter. So like how long they're in space. And this should be actually like a heads up to all those billionaires that want to take little joyrides. Like, what are you overcharging for us to be genetically mutated? And, you know, like what's going to happen there? But they say even the shortest amount of time in space alters the DNA. So it'll be interesting to see what our astronauts turn into. You know, you could see Buzz Aldrin. I mean, he's old. Is he still alive?
Yeah, he's alive.
Okay. Well,
Still
notice how he
kicking.
didn't change. I'll just add that to the reasons why the moon landing conspiracy has some valid points.
You haven't seen his third nipple online?
Yeah. He should have horns by now. But either way, let me get into your beef tip before we wrap things up and Robin Nash takes over. First off, I'd like to thank Herb Stratford for coming in, putting up with our shenanigans. I do appreciate that.
Yeah.
There's ground rules for parents that have kids who move back in. 80% of parents with kids under 35 would let them move back in if they needed to. But they would set a few ground rules, and 10% would give them a curfew. All right. I've been in this situation before. I've had to crash back on my mom's couch after the age of 18. And I would say this, it's a very lonely existence. So my beef tip to you, if you have parents or if you have kids as you get older and they have to move back in and you love them, don't give them a curfew. Let them have sex every now and then. And it's a long, lonely existence. They're already feeling like they're hitting rock bottom, sleeping on the couch and being back at your house. The last thing you need to do is take away any dignity they have left, even if they're on meth, which they're probably on meth. And as your beef tip. Thank you so much for listening. On Monday morning, I got a concert announcement, and we'll give tickets for that concert every day of the week. Plus, we'll have Tap Out Tuesday and all that good stuff. But again, Robin Nash is up next. Enjoy the rest of your day and your weekend. Enjoy some football. Drive safe, ride safe, and as always, rock local. Later.
When you wish
Peace, guys.
upon a side of beef, soon will come and
everyone left the stream already. It's all by myself.
If you've been mean or kind of bad, I will knock out all your teeth.